Well, you can't win them all, which was most certainly the case for the Angelo Central Bobcats tonight here in Cedar Park. Good evening, folks. I'm Mannys Diaz. Well, the Central Bobcats, did not stop fighting. In fact, they fought to the bitter end, but came up on the short end of things to a very good Cedar Park team tonight, falling 37-22. Man, it looked kind of hazy in the first half. Things picked up in the second half. We have plenty of highlights of this one, plus post-game reaction from Coach Davis and his Bobcat players. But first things first, those Twisted Root highlights.
Tonight's Cover 1 highlights are presented by Twisted Root Burger Company.
The Texas Tech commit Maverick McIver watching tonight following a season-ending knee injury in Week 2 against Del Rio. Stepping in, sophomore QB1 Malachi Brown, who was something like the Powerball tonight. All eyes on him as he and the Central Bobcats up against Ryder Hernandez and the Cedar Park Timberwolves. First quarter, no score, but not for long. Ryder Hernandez slings it over the middle to Carson Neal, and look at this kid go. G to the O-N-E, gone, making reservations for 6. Good for a 76-yard pitch and catch against the Bobcats defense, giving the two-time state champs the 7-0 lead. Ensuing Central drive, Cats setting up the punt, but this one too tall for Javante Counts. Thankfully, he would recover. Bad news, the Wolves score some nice field position. Next Cedar Park drive, handoff to Jonathan Stockwell, taking it in for the 7-yard touchdown, and it's 14-0 just like that. Back come the Bobcats, the kid, Malachi Brown off the keeper. Solid gain here, but loses the handle. Cedar Park recovers and once again working with the short field. But the Central defense would have an answer, telling Malachi, "We got you, bro." Brady Allen with the sack. Hunter Sadler there to recover. Cats ball. Central now looking to turn the tide. Brown calls his own number, picking up a nice chunk of change, but the drive would stall. Second quarter now, Wolves knocking on the door, and they bust it wide open, courtesy of Daniel Hernandez, giving Cedar Park the 21-0 lead. Later in the quarter, following a Jayshon Hall pick 6, the Angry Orange defense getting after Cedar Park with a big play in the backfield here. Then, doing the same in the secondary there. But with under 10 seconds left in the first half, the Wolves had an answer. Hernandez floats it up to Will Udoye, using that 6'4" frame to make the grab for 6. Cedar Park would lead 28-6 at the break. Third quarter now, score now 35-13. Central looking at cutting that Cedar Park lead. Brown rolls out looking to make something happen and almost does, but keyword almost. The sophomore finding a kid in the wrong color jersey, yikes. Cedar Park now with the rock, but once again, holler at that Angry Orange defense. Wolves moving the ball, but Will Udoye can't hang on to it, and the Cats are taking this back for 6. That's an AUM Holistic Therapy's Play of the Game nominee. 2-point conversion no good, and it's now 35-19 Cedar Park. Fourth quarter now, Cats on the comeback trail. Brown with a big completion here down to the Cedar Park 5-yard line. This is what we've been waiting for. Very next play, Malachi off the quarterback keeper, and he's in for 6. But hold the phone. Bobcats called for the penalty, taking the touchdown off the board. Few plays later, Central with another opportunity. Bobby Pena left wide open, but Brown, not enough to make the completion. Central would have to settle for a field goal to make it 35-22 with just under 9 to go. But here's where it got real interesting on 4th and goal under 3 minutes left. Wolves looking to punch it in, but that Central defense says not today, especially Daylon Green, captain clutch here for the stop. That's good for an AUM Holistic Therapy's Play the Game nominee. Cats with the rock now, but the Wolves defense returns the favor, getting right in the grill of Malachi Brown. Intentional grounding called, resulting in a safety. That's that's all she wrote. Cedar Park ends Central's 25-game regular season winning streak dating back to 2015, beating the Bobcats 37-22.
Tonight's Cover 1 post-game sound is brought to you by the Caverns of Sonora.
We played well. We just got to get used to what's going on now, but we made a lot of mistakes, a lot of penalties. A lot of the reason we lost was just because it was just on us. They didn't do anything we've never seen before. So we just got to fix the mistakes ourselves and be ready next week.
It's a good football team. I mean, you got to be able to play with them. You got to be able to score with them, and we just weren't able to do that tonight, and it was mostly our own fault. So things that can be fixed, we just got to go to work and get it done.
Oh yeah, I'm proud of him. He's only a sophomore, so he's got a long way to go, but he did good. I don't know if he rose to the occasion, but it's really hard just being a sophomore. You just got to mature a little bit.
I mean, he's great. I saw some great things out of him today. I think he's just got to get used to it a little bit, and we got to get used to him, but you know, he didn't do bad at all for his first one.
I thought we learned a lot. Thought our young quarterback got better and better as the game went on, and he's going to get more support hopefully from our offense. We got to move the chains, you know, and every time it seemed like in the first half when we did that, we had a penalty or we had something that kept us from moving the chains. And no matter who the quarterback is, we've got to figure out a way to not hurt ourselves with stupid penalties. Defense kept us in it, you know. They scored twice for us, so that's a big deal.
We lost. I'm still proud of my boys, though. We did good. Towards the end of the game, we got after it and can't win them all. So I'm really proud of my boys, and we're gonna get it next week.
We just got to get better from here. You know, this is the team that we have, and we'll find the strengths of this team. And the only way you find them is by playing. So we'll find them, and we'll get better, and we'll retool some things, and we're gonna have we're gonna be fine. We just got to get better each week. Got another warm-up game next week.
Tonight's play of the game is brought to you by AUM Holistic Therapies.
It's time for our AUM Holistic Therapies play of the game. The Bobcats may have dropped the dub tonight, but how about senior linebacker Daylon Green on this 4th and goal line stand late in the 4th quarter? I'll tell you, huge fan of this kid. Had a few conversations with him. Fantastic ball player, but most importantly, even better young man. I think this is the first of many clutch plays that he'll be a part of this season. That's why he's part of tonight's AUM Holistic Therapies play of the game.
It's time for Mannys Cover 1 final call of the night, presented by Pettit Productions.
Well, it's been a while since the San Angelo Central Bobcats have taken an L, whether it's been in the non-district season or the district season. In fact, we have to go back to just a few years ago when the Bobcats lost to Abilene High at Shotwell Stadium. Nonetheless, you can't put this one on the shoulders of sophomore quarterback Malachi Brown. Inexperience and just getting used to the Friday night lights is one thing, but if there's anything to take away from this game outside of just beating themselves tonight, was the San Angelo Central defense. The Angry Orange defense truly came to play, and I tell you, we saw 2 huge touchdowns from these guys that really kind of kept this game alive, if you will, and most certainly down the stretch. Zacharian Polk, Jayshawn Hall, and Daylon Green. These guys are some big-time playmakers, and if San Angelo Central has a true chance of doing something this season, it's going to have to come from this defense. Should be fun to watch. Most definitely, I'm looking forward to seeing what these kids can do. Well, if there's one big takeaway from tonight, it's you can't beat yourself. The Central Bobcats had way too many turnovers tonight against a very good Cedar Park team, which resulted in a 37-22 loss. Nonetheless, next week's non-district finale against El Paso Pebble Hills should be interesting. We should see Malachi Brown grow a little bit more along with his defense. Meanwhile, as for the Cover 1 team, we'll be in Sutton County as the Sonora Broncos host the Wall Hawks in an epic Class 3A showdown. I've been waiting for this one since the schedule was released out in the early spring. But before we leave you tonight, gotta have some fan talk. San Angelo Central Bobcat faithful travels with this team and is willing to follow them from one end of Texas to the other. Well, from Cedar Park, Texas, Sofa Couch Media's Cover 1, I'm Manny Diaz. Good night.
Tonight's fan mic check is brought to you by Oasis Crop Insurance.
We don't lose a lot, but we will continue to support them through thick and thin. And you know, we're going to try better next time. So I love cheering with them, for them. I love supporting them. I love spending time with all the girls on our team as a Texan, and I love just being a part of it in general.
Friday Night Lights, what does that mean to you whenever you hear that?
Yelling so loud that you lose your voice for the next day, and you know, just supporting your team no matter what. It was fourth quarter and we were still cheering as loud as we could. So.